What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday, August 21st, 2023. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you 4 days a week. We give you live shows, daily blitz, 7 days a week, so many shows, so much content. Holy crap. Today, we are talking fall camp intel. What is the latest news? What are we learning? What have we heard? This freaking QB battle is going to make me old in a hurry. Oh my God. Dude, just freaking pick somebody, will you? Oh my God. It's wearing me out. Anyway, let's get into it. I'll lay it out for the 100th time. Don't be afraid to get in the chat. Let me know your opinions on everything. I'm trying to adjust my lighting here, so sorry. All right. So yeah, hop in the chat, give me your thoughts, opinions, and away we go. We're going to talk offense and defense, try and cover a lot of ground here. So keep up. I'll give you my opinions here as we roll through this. But off the top, quarterback battle. So McCord and Devin Brown neither have seized the job and humped it into submission. So here we go. Ryan Day said, quote, both graded out as champions in last week's scrimmage, Saturdays. Both have gotten better to this point right now. As honestly as I can say it, there's not one who's won the job and there's not one who's lost the job. He said there had been times over this camp where I felt like one was going to take over, then the other one would come back. It was like a horse race, one pulled away and the other would catch up. So quarterback competition rolls on. And here we are again. Just as a reminder, Justin Fields was named starter on August 19th of 2019. CJ Stroud was named starter August 21st, 2021. That's today's date, by the way, in case you're paying attention at home. So I was fully expecting an announcement, a commitment today, one direction or the other. But anyway, so you could ask the question, are they trying to keep one of the quarterbacks around? Like, are they trying to motivate Kyle McCord before naming him the starter? If it's really, really close, do you go with the young guy in Devin Brown? Because you got an extra year out of him. So I think it looks like that Ryan Day is going to play both quarterbacks in the season opener. Yeah, I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. So against Indiana, expect to see, I don't know if he'll do quarters, halves, who knows? The game should be over by halftime, so I don't know if that really tells you much. Maybe alternating series. We've seen that before. What could go wrong? 2015. Ryan Day said today that it's going to continue into this week and we'll go from there. There's a chance that both of them could play in the first game. So I think he is really headed down that path. And I don't know where you go from there. How much can you put up with? How many mistakes can a quarterback make in a game? I mean, are we talking minute mistakes, or are we just talking like, oh, the guy, dropped the ball but picked it up and threw a touchdown? So anyway, they're going to keep the competition going here for another week. You got to be done with it by this Saturday, this coming Saturday, because you're into game week prep. Right now they're doing, they're practicing, but you won't have another scrimmage. You're not going to have a scrimmage next Saturday. They're probably going to lighten up on the hitting and tackling a bit, and they're kind of getting into a mock game week this week, especially for the younger players. They're getting them accustomed to the schedule, and I think they start classes tomorrow, actually, on Tuesday. So add that to the mix. What a fucking cluster. So anyway, and it seems like the staff supports Ryan Day's call to play both of them. So I don't know. I guess you kind of have to. But so Ryan Day has always said playing in games is the best way to judge a quarterback's intangibles, leadership, things like that, rallying the troops up. So practice gives you a snapshot, he calls it, of what you might see in a game. But once you're live, it's a completely different ball of wax. So, and Ryan Day's been in situations where you don't have a quarterback, and he said that's not a good feeling. I can imagine. We have two, so we have that luxury. One thing I wanted to point out, though, is whoever they do choose to be the official starting quarterback, whether it's in a week or in 2 weeks, it's the other guy's job to stay engaged and support his teammate and be there for the rest of his team. Because you never know when somebody, breaks a chin strap and you have to go in, or rips a shoelace. You got to be engaged. And that is, even if you lose the quarterback battle, not saying who it is or whatever, but whoever loses that quarterback battle needs to stay engaged and support their team, be there for their team and their brothers. So anyway, continuing, McCord and Dem Brown stepped up their consistency, especially in the situational drills in practice recently. Both graded out as champions in this past Saturday's scrimmage. So they said each of them led a touchdown drive in the 2-minute drill in Saturday's scrimmage. So I don't see any other way, but they both get their shot against Indiana. Ryan Day said that, quote, those are good signs when you're seeing them play the game, when you're seeing them win third down in the red zone and in 2-minute. That's where you make your money as a quarterback. We're seeing some real improvement in those areas. So that's, I don't know, that's a bright spot for me as a person who would like to have a choice made by now. It is a bright spot to know that they're both getting the job done. So nobody's fallen off that badly, falling off of a cliff and stuff. So anyway, let's talk O-line while we're talking offense here. Ryan Day basically laid out the offensive line for the opener. You got Josh Simmons starting at left tackle. Again, never started there at any level of football, never played left tackle. Remember that. Highly penalized last year at right tackle at San Diego State. 17 penalties, I believe, in 13 games. So anyway, Josh Simmons, left tackle. Donovan Jackson, left guard. Carson Hinsman seems to be edging out Vic Cutler at the center job. Matthew Jones at right guard and Josh Fryer at right tackle. That seems to be the lineup. Now, guys behind the starters, Luke Montgomery continues to make a push at the right side. So at right tackle, I expect him to be in the 2 deep there. Then this battle between Hinsman and Vic Cutler has been tight. So add in veteran guard Enoch Vamahi, and I think the staff feels pretty good about the overall depth of the talent up front, at least as a 2 deep. So Ryan Day said that in a situation where you thought like you were thin on the offensive line, you turn around after a few months and we feel like we have some decent depth. So that makes me feel good. All warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, is it because it's 95 outside? Maybe that's why. Anyway, then Carnell Tate, Ryan Day continues to pump his tires, and the kid deserves it. He continues to impress the staff. To go through what he's gone through in the last month and continue to show up every day. He shows a high level of maturity, and maybe he works in with Julian Fleming at the outside position. Maybe he steals some reps. Maybe he's in that 2 deep even, and he'll get some snaps in garbage time at least. And if Fleming needs a blow early on in a game, maybe Tate works into some somewhat meaningful snaps, and that's important, not to just be out there running routes against a third team DB or something. Let's talk defense. Safeties. Sonny Styles is a starter. We got our wish. Finally, something goes our way. Fuck yes. It's not a starting quarterback, but hey, it's a starting safety. Sonny can do it. So Jim Knowles said that Sonny is a guy where we're going to have on the field as much as we can. He provides versatility to the back end. Again, the V word that we love so much. Knowles said that Sonny is a combination of a nickel safety and a Sam linebacker as he plays on the field. But he's trying to come up with a new name. He said something like strike. That sounds stupid. Anyway, but Sonny's versatility to play man, zone, or blitz the quarterback adds another dimension to the defense that not everybody can bring to the table. And again, versatility is great. Multiplicity is great, but Sonny Styles guys don't grow on trees. We need to appreciate that. And that's why Sonny is going to be out there a lot. Maybe not every play, but that's fine. There's going to be matchup changes. It really depends on the team we're going against and their offense. So you got to keep that in mind. Lathan Ransom's had a great camp, great spring. And then Proctor, Malik Hartford, the freshman, and Jihad Carter are in competition for a role at the safety job. The adjuster position, Jim Knowles wants to solidify that starter in a competition that's going to be ongoing with those three. He said specifically about Malik Hartford, you feel their presence on the field. Malik is a guy who's going to show up around the ball. He's very smart. We know that. We just did a profile on him last week. Hope you guys caught that on the Daily Blitz. Let's talk DNs. So Jim Knowles says that the Rushmen have had a great camp. We have 4 ends there that I think are as good as anyone in the country. He said 4, not just 2. Jack Sawyer's become more dominant in the last couple practices at DN. That's great music to our ears, right? Jim Knowles said he was at a high level. Then the last 2 days, he vaulted himself into being a dominant guy. So, then there's the cynical side of all of us Buckeye fans that says, oh, great. So that means the O-line he was going against sucks. I don't know if that's the case or not. But then Mitch Melton, Jim Knowles said that Mitch has grown a lot at the defensive end position, and he's been putting in a lot more time there. He's very smart, level-headed, and he doesn't want to lessen Mitchell's tools by playing the Jack. So kind of what happened to Jack Sawyer last year. Caden Curry, he said Caden's going to play a lot along that front. I think he's going to fit into different places, not on rundowns, but he's a lot to handle on passing downs. So look for Caden Curry to come off the edge and spell either JT or Jack. D tackles, Jim Knowles is concerned about the depth at defensive tackle. This is one thing I talked about back in the spring, even before they brought in Tywone Malone. His reasoning was more about how the guys get beat up. They constantly are getting rolled up on ankles, knees, shit like that. So he likes the pieces that they have. It's just a matter of keeping them healthy. And again, Tyleek was hurt on like the first day of fall camp. He's coming back from that, but he's not 100% yet. And Hero Canu's had a great camp. So I expect Tywone Malone, Hero Canu to factor into that rotation, along with Ty Hamilton, Tyleek, Mike Hall, obviously. Linebacker, he realizes he needs to keep guys healthy for the long haul, because if you could end up playing a 15-game season. So you can't be blowing guys out in the first, 10 games, and then they're wasted by week 11, 12, 13. But he feels that Cody Simon, CJ Hicks will play a lot this year. He didn't say really which position, but he loves Tommy Eichenberg, obviously voted captain. He said, I want a guy who's never going to flinch. I want someone who's going to lead, not so much through his words, but just being a stalwart for the program. He's never going to point fingers. He's going to look at his own deficiencies. He's just that dude. And to finish up here on the defense, Jim Knowles said he had to grow a bit as a coach in the offseason. He had to come up with new schemes, new calls, and new strategies to limit the big plays that burned us in the last 2 games of the year. So I like hearing that. Let's lay those things out and implement those. So the that's really the latest we have on the offense and the defense. I don't care who the kicker is. Just make your kicks. Kickoff guy, kick it into the end zone. Punter, not worried about. Punter's been the most consistent special teams guy for years. I mean, but all right, let's check on the chat. Who's in here? Who's in here? PC first. PC's first. Good job, PC. Thank you, PC. PC says, you are killing it, Joe. It is a lot of content, but I'm sure a lot of work. We do appreciate it, though. Thank you. It is kind of a labor of love, I guess you call it, talking Buckeye football. I wish it paid a little better. Yeah. Anyway, PC says, if both QBs graded out as champion, that's great news. Yeah. I'll say this. I think the longer this goes on, it's a better sign for Brown. If it were McCord straight up, when I think they would have said so by now. Maybe, but I think you're trying to kind of keep both guys from checking out mentally. So by keeping them engaged, keep saying this is a competition every day. Engage every day, every practice, every rep, every meeting. Keeps both of them engaged right up until the point where you have to make a final call. I think that's a possibility. Anyways, PC says, I guess the first 3 games should show something, but damn, that's ballsy going into Notre Dame. It should definitely be decided by them. Oh, yeah. I think you got 1 game to end this competition. I'm not with that 2 or 3 game bullshit. You got to make a fucking call, put your pants on, and if both are that good, neither one is falling off of a cliff. If both are that good, then what's there to worry about? Hurt feelings? Fuck that. It's fucking Division I football, like Dan Hawkins said at Colorado back in the day. It's Division I football. It isn't intramurals. And we're a little bummed out because we only get a couple weeks of vacation. That was a great quote. I should pull that up sometime. Anyway, Jeremiah Yoder, what's up, Jeremiah? Good to see you again. He says, whichever one of those QBs puts the Buckeyes in the best position to win going forward, let's go Buckeyes. Exactly. We're all Buckeye fans, when you boil it down, and we're going to support whoever the quarterback is. There's no choosing sides in this. I know some people might, especially if they went to bat like heavily for Kyle McCord or Devin Brown or whoever, but so yeah, I'm with you, Jeremiah. PC says, I'll say this. It does feel a bit like Team Up North last year. JJ was always the guy, but they had to let him win the job. I know. I don't know. Taking a quarterback competition through 2 weeks, I don't know. Just seems, and they're not even equal opponents. That's the thing. It's not an apples to apples comparison. You got Indiana, which is still a Big Ten team, not a good one, but they are a Big Ten team. Then you got, is Youngstown State week 2? So, it's a pretty hefty drop off, PC says another channel pointed out that the penalties on Simmons were actually against the O-line, not just him per se. He just happened to be the one on the end who caught the flag. If you heard of that, yeah, I understand because he was playing tackle and they're the first one that the ref sees, like on a false start, things like that. But not every penalty was a false start. If they're calling a holding on you, you were holding. Not all penalties can be false starts 17 times in one season. So I understand on a false start specifically, yeah, the end or the ref on the line of scrimmage might see a couple guys move early and they just call it on the guy on the end. I understand, but that can't happen every time, 17 times. PC says the offseason seemed to drag on, but now I feel like the season is coming up super quick. Yes. Yes, Sonny starts good. About damn time. Yep. Who is he taking off the field then? That's the question. And how often is he on the field? Is he out there for a 3rd and long, let's say? Is he out there against 4 wides? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Enough with the stupid names. I agree. I'm done with the fucking stupid names. Just fucking call it the Sonny position, because you're not going to have another Sonny Styles. You don't have one of those on the team, probably, maybe one other, but we haven't seen it yet. So yeah, I don't know who he takes off the field. I think it really depends on the offense they're going against and down and distance, PC says, I think that both Brown and McCord are upstanding guys and will support one another no matter who gets the job. I agree. And they're friends, obviously. I mean, similar to JT and Cardale back in 2015. This was not a head-to-head, personal battle, So I don't foresee the 2 guys not supporting the other, but no hurt feelings. Put the best quarterback on the field. Good point on Simmons. Not all those penalties were false starts. Can't be holding. I hate penalties. Tell me about it. That's my concern, man. With Josh Simmons never playing left tackle before. This is Big Ten football, man. This is not Mountain West or wherever conference San Diego State is. I'm very concerned. That's going to be my focal point, watching the offense just as much as the quarterback. That left tackle job has to be solidified and concrete. We cannot have Swiss cheese out there. What's the backup plan? If Josh Simmons just can't get it done in games, what do we do? Josh Fryer's locked in at right tackle. And he said before in multiple interviews that it's hard as hell. I don't remember his exact word. He cussed or something in an interview. And he said it is hard as hell to flip from right to left. So I don't know. But Ryan Day was talking him up again today. He said that he brings some great athleticism, which you got to be light on your feet out there at left tackle. You got to, you're a dancing bear. You got to, get to the outside when a guy tries to speed rush around you. Sometimes you got to pinch down to the inside if a guy tries to, up and under you. So that's where I've heard his challenges were at San Diego State, getting beat on the inside. So let's hope that he's fixed that. I mean, he's going against one of the best D lines in the country. So I hope he's addressed it and they've coached it up. So PC says, for Simmons, why is that happening, do you think? Do you think they're seeing something in him in practice that's special? Yeah, I think it has to be. I think the athleticism is one thing. Josh Fryer was working at left all of spring. Then now, since the first day of fall camp, he hasn't taken a single snap at left tackle. So that's why I don't think your plan B. I would love to know what plan B is, because I don't think it can be Josh Fryer flipping from right to left, because that just seems like another dead end to me. But maybe that's Justin Fry's backup plan. Whatever it is, I hope it works out. I'm not sure about our depth. Luke Montgomery's working in at right tackle, so hopefully he can work in there and be solid in the 2 deep. But I don't know if you want to get put in a place where you have to play a freshman at left tackle if Simmons isn't working out or gets injured or whatever, So curious to see what this 2 deep looks like at the tackles. And looks like Hinsman's got the center job locked up. That's good. I'm shocked by Malik Hartford in a competition with the 6-year guy Proctor for that adjuster job. and Jihad Carter, third-year guy. So that's impressive to me. Malik Hartford, the Ohio kid, making a dent. So if nothing else, he's at least in the two deep. You got to think if he's cracking the lineup and challenging for a starting job. So that's great. Yeah, PC. You didn't miss much from the Ryan Day interview. Yeah, we were all expecting a big announcement, but no, kind of let the air out of the balloon, right? Yeah, freshman at left tackle. Nobody wants that. That's concerning. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys missed it, go back and check out the Malik Hartford freshman focus I did a few days ago. I don't remember last week sometime, but I really like him. He's a hitter, versatile, of course. You got to be versatile as the safety at Ohio State in this type of defense. So excited to see what he can do. And he's going to get reps. You know that. He's going to get snaps, especially in these first few games that are blowouts. And that's awesome. Jeremiah says, do you think the Buckeyes will wait to reveal the starting quarterback when the offense takes the field in Bloomington? Hope we find it out before then. I think they're going with 2 in Bloomington. I don't know who you play first. Maybe Kyle because of his seniority. But I think they're going with 2, Jeremiah. I think we're going to see them both against the Hoosiers, the Losers. Either way, it's going to be a blowout. You could just hand the ball off all day and play decent defense and walk away with a 20, 30-point win. I expect it to be more of a 40, 50-point blowout. That's just me. Indiana's not great, Bob. We had our score predictions last night, our score predictions show. We went through all 12 regular season games. Me, Jeff, and Sean gave you our predictions. I have everybody from the chat's predictions too. Some good ones in there. So I copied that into a document, and the end of the season, we're going to reveal who was closest. Yeah. PC agrees that they're going to put both QBs on the field against IU. But again, I don't think it matters. You could put freaking Lincoln Keenholes out there, and the Buckeyes would walk away with an easy one. Tristan Gebbia, put him out there. Hell, play everybody. Yep, no problem, PC. So yeah, we got some people viewing but not chatting. That's fine. You're allowed to just watch. That's right. Jeremiah says, Buckeyes destroy the losers, smoozers. That's right. Yep. Can't wait. I'm going to be doing a weekly show about our current commits, the Ohio State commits, and how they performed in their high school games, their senior years in this 24 class. What's on tap this week, PC? Oh, boy. I got a profile on Lorenzo Styles. I have an update on the defensive line. I have, Cedric Hawkins, a freshman focus on him. And, today was the Ohio State commits and how they fared in their high school games. There's a handful, 5, 6, how many here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 guys that didn't play. Their seasons don't start till next week. So that'll be add a bunch of dudes. That's almost half the class right there that didn't play this week. So I'll be updating you there probably every Monday with that going forward. And lots of good shit going on. continue to work on the position focuses for fall camp as we get geared up for the first game. So look for those. I got a show about Sonny Styles coming up maybe Friday. Yeah, I think I'll do that on Friday. And kind of how we're kind of guessing at what he's going to do on the field and what position he's going to play, Oh yeah, the Houston commitment. Can't forget about that. That is tomorrow night, Tuesday night. I have it in my calendar, of course. 6:45-ish. It's a very weird time. I'm not sure why. 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I have to say Eastern because that one kid, was it Lightfoot? Because he's from Chicago, fucking screwed us. He said he was announcing it like 5 o'clock. Turns out that was Central. So never again. I'll be sure and clear up the fucking time zone going forward. So yeah, Edric Houston, as of right now, I got him in the class. He is a Buckeye. All the Larry Johnson haters, hand up. I bashed on the old guy occasionally, but I think he's a Buckeye. LJ brings in 2 5-stars on the D line. He probably isn't an edge rusher. He's like 280 right now. He's been weighed in at 280-ish. But if you knock some weight off of him, get his quickness up. I mean, JT is at 270. But I think he probably turns into a D tackle, most likely. Edric Houston probably put some more weight on him, trim some of that baby fat, get him stronger, and move him down inside. So that leaves us with 0 edge rushers and 2 D tackles in this class. So going to have to work on some flips. Maybe somebody else pops once these high school games get rolling, and we see like maybe midway through the season, you see some offers go out to some edge rushers in the 24 class. That's my hope. Yeah, PC says, watch out for the Fong bomb flip at the last second. Yep. And nowadays, in this NIL world, man, nobody's prediction is concrete. Nobody's. Because we saw it with Lightfoot, just the bags, the bidding war between Ohio State and Miami. So I don't know why anybody would bother making a prediction, and there's a lot of good recruiting reporters out there. I like Berm over at Rivals. I'm not a fan of Rivals site, the way they do their recruiting profiles and stuff like that. But Berm's one of the best, been doing it for a long time. Fong obviously is connected to a lot of guys with intel, but Kurlick's okay. I'm not sure he gets the inside scoop that often. So yeah, those are the 2-3 recruiting guys that I pay attention to. Does Cleveland.com even have anybody doing recruiting? I don't think Steven's doing their recruiting. I haven't heard anything from him about recruiting. Right. Exactly. PC says, I like the Fong, but he likes to keep his percentage up by flipping late. I'm not a fan of that. I know that's frustrating too. So, hey, if everybody's ready for college football, hit like on the video. Ready, go. Thank you. So, all right, folks. I'm thinking we're going to roll out the call-in show this Sunday. I'm going to work through the details of that. We'll probably keep it relatively short, like less than 30 minutes. So we'll roll that out Sunday night. And then once the season kicks off, I'm thinking these daily blitzes might end up being an hour long, just because we're going to have so much shit to talk about. I mean, we're going to be talking about recruiting, how the current commits are doing. We're going to be talking about last week's game, next week's game, injuries, Ryan Day press conference details, shit like that. So Yeah. So PC, thank you for hitting the like. I can always count on you. I know you don't have to listen to me. I know you always do that, but make sure you hit the like, folks. We got a little over 30 people in here, so appreciate everybody joining. Yeah. Appreciate you, Jeremiah. Great show today. Keep up the great work. Yes, sir, I will. Thank you, PC. Your kind words always mean a lot. So we'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, go Bucks.